Hi, good people from all around the world. This is Nick, and welcome back to the third episode sneak peek, the Voyage of Hervor Bloodtooth, Part 3. It's another short one, 32 seconds. Here we go. So I've been trying to analyze, I've watched this about 4 times, and I've been trying to analyze the background, look carefully to see if there's any details,
I
but
have to be on my guard.
I don't really see much of anything interesting. I'm not the most observant person anyways, and because there was a troll in the background of one of my videos one time, and I never saw it till later on.
Few places have been peaceful since I first arrived here, and it would be foolish to believe these lands to be different.
Yeah, like I'm trying like snow-covered trees here. This is a really big tree, but there's been trees that big in the ashlands. So sometimes you'll come across a charred tree that's that big, and some of the oaks are that big. But no details I can see that points to any new stuff. Aside from that, these look like different leaves from different trees from what I've seen before. But aside from that, no details I can spot in the background here. At first, I thought over here was new crops or new plants that you could harvest, like berries and stuff, but that's not what it is. There's this rock-looking thing here, but this could just be just
No
rock.
matter how well I fight, I might still be overcome by the inevitable cold of the place.
Now, of course, the increased cold effect, differentiating it from the mountains, the deep north, and some people are theorizing when this dangerous cold will happen. It will happen at night, because normally nighttime gets more cold and you have to wear a cape in order to not be as cold. Will it happen when it rains? Because sometimes in the mountains, when it rains, you get blizzards. Will it happen the more you go inland into the deep north? These are the questions, and by shelter, does she mean like just a campfire, or are we going to have something more durable? And this kind of reminds me of the opposite of the ashlands in the sense that you couldn't build shelter if it was wood. It would char down and like catch on fire and you'd be destroyed. Whereas this is the opposite. You have to make shelter in order to survive in the cold. Um,
I'd best find some shelter.
that's pretty much it. You just come across this frozen gray dwarf. Um, Gray dwarf shaman, it looks like maybe. It's pretty big for a gray dwarf. So, or a gray dwarf brute. It's probably a gray dwarf brute because those ones are pretty big. But some people were asking in the voyage video to Deep North before the update, were asking when I think the update's going to happen. And based on previous timelines, it took about 4 months for them to do the walk and talk episodes before the Ashlands came out, the Ashlands Walk and Talk ones. It took about 4 months from the first video to when the Ashlands beta was released. It took about 7 months from when the Mistlands hair video was revealed before the Mistlands beta was coming out. So I was guessing based on that time frame, it could be probably somewhere between 4 to 7 months from now. So it could probably, I'm guessing, somewhere between September to December. Now, some people are thinking it's going to be in February because that's when the game first came out on early access, and it would be kind of coming full circle from when it started on full early access to being a full game, a full release. But I think, and that theory would hold, I think, if these teasers were coming out later on. If we were watching these teasers in, say, August or September or October or something along that, it would fit with what they've had before as far as timeline goes, but it just doesn't fit. So I think it's going to be September to December. I could be wrong. They could be coming out in February and taking extra time with it because it's the last major final biome update. But that's just my thoughts. This one wasn't quite as much on the details as the other ones were. It didn't reveal much of anything new. We already figured it was going to have increased cold compared to the mountains. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to ramble too much. I'm excited. I can't wait for the next teaser, part 4, and it'll be cool to see what they have next. I have all kinds of theories about what kind of in other enemies we're going to come across. I've said bears multiple times. That's one of the ones I fully expect, either regular bears or polar bears. But I have some other theories about other enemies that we'll come across and what the boss might be, all kinds of other stuff. But thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Valheim devs for making an amazing game. I hope you all have a good day. Bye everybody.